today's BRZ vlog, we're going to talk about my BRZ. Why is it always snowing when I make these? I've done a few of these BRZ vlogs, and I figure it's about time I actually tell you a little more about the car. This is a 2014 Subaru BRZ. The Subaru BRZ was designed jointly with Toyota and their, well, what they call in North America, the Scion FRS, up until recently when Scion as a brand died, and now is known almost worldwide as the Toyota 86. I got this car in March 2014 when my previous car, an ex-cop Crown Vic, died and wouldn't pass inspection without 4 digits worth of repairs. I figured it was smarter to put that money towards something new rather than fixing up the old Ford. I've always loved the WRX, but in March 2014, all the 2014 models were sold out, and the brand new version for 2015 wasn't out yet, so that wasn't an option. But I love the BRZ because it had everything I loved about my old Miatas. True sports car, rear-wheel drive, with everything I needed for the sake of practicality in my everyday life, like a solid roof and a trunk that would hold more than 1 bag of groceries. You have more momentum than I do. You go right ahead, sir. Woohoo! I haven't done anything major. I plastid-dipped the stock wheels gold because gold is the proper wheel color for a World Rally Blue Subaru. Like I said, I'm a big rally fan, so of course I had to get the World Rally Blue car. I added a ham radio, both to chitter-chatter on my way to work and for communications at stage rallies. And then the other mods kept creeping in. For example, a nameless performance axle-back exhaust, which is what you hear right now. The stock muffler sounds like my ex-wife's 96 Impreza, which is not at all impressive. This exhaust doesn't add any power because the rest of the system is stock, but I didn't add it for power, I added it for the sound. Other modifications: it has an open flash tune for 91 octane. No big deal there. It does help eliminate the torque dip a little bit. These engines are notorious for having a mid-range RPM torque dip, which is right where you need the torque most, especially considering these engines don't put out a lot of torque when they're not turbocharged or supercharged. So, what else can I tell you about this car? What's it like to live with from day to day? Well, it's a sports car. And all of the good and bad things you might imagine about that are true. Okay, full disclaimer, all of this sliding around I'm doing, I have the traction control turned off because there is some snow on the ground, and traction control in this car is very invasive. It'll kick in and bring the car to a stop if it detects a wheel starting to slip. So I've shut it off. So.
Front K-band.
This car's strong point is definitely its handling. It has an extremely low center of gravity, so it goes around corners like crazy, especially on my summer tires and wheels, which are an inch wider than stock and grippy rubber. The back seats are, well, useless. I'm obviously in my regular driving position. There's maybe this much of a gap between the seat back and the back seat. So in order to have a passenger behind me, you'd have to be a paraplegic. I have a feeling my wife wouldn't take kindly to me chopping off her children's legs so that we could fit all 4 of us in this car. This is the only model Subaru sells that is not all-wheel drive. It's the first one that hasn't been all-wheel drive since, I believe, 1996, when they dropped the front-wheel drive option for the Impreza. It's a ton of fun, and I'm glad Subaru sells this car, but I don't quite understand its place in the lineup. If someone is going to come to Subaru to buy a sports car, they're thinking of a WRX, not a hot little sports coupe like this. Oh, I love rear-wheel drive. Everything that makes this a great handling car in dry conditions remains true when it gets slippery. I think of the BRZ, the FRS, and the 86 as the little tyke's my first track car. It's got power, not a lot, but you're not going to get yourself in as much trouble that way. But if you want to get into trouble, you certainly can. Would I buy one of these again? As a second car, absolutely. It's a ton of fun. And in my mind, it's everything a good sports car should be at a very reasonable price. You don't get as pure of a sports car experience in anything short of a Porsche Cayman, I don't think. I have made absolutely no changes in the suspension, and I'm perfectly happy with it on the track. On the street, I'll be honest, not so much. The stiff suspension that makes it handle so well on a curvy road or a racetrack is a bit too harsh for my daily commute, which is mostly crappy New England back roads. It beats me up a bit. Maybe I'm getting old, not that there's any gray in my beard or anything, but I wouldn't mind a cushier ride for the daily commute. But it's nice when a car is small and maneuverable enough to do that. And I certainly don't want to give up the fun factor. If I have to travel as much as I do, I want to have fun doing it. And I am definitely an enthusiast when it comes to both cars and motorcycles. Well, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of my BRZ. I have every intention of giving similar tours of the motorcycles in the fleet once riding season actually starts again. But since we're buried in snow and looking to get in another foot starting, well, basically now, I figured I'd do the one for the car now because, well, I'm driving somewhere. And I might as well take you with me. Let's give you one more slide to sign off.